some very interesting agendas for today. There's a lot. And it's just things. Everything red and blue we're going to talk about today. I need to get to here. Not there. I lost my Mike Ferry quotes, so we're going to have no quotes this morning. So sorry. Oh, probably should button my shirt better. It is March 9th. We're here in the second week of the last month of the quarter. And don't blink because it'll be over before we even know it. Yes, Spectrum's internet apparently is down. My mom just texted me and Ashley just texted too. Go Fios. All right, so here's where we are. And this is just crazy. We still have 183 active listings, the same as last week, which means we added some and we sold some. We've taken 35 listings so far this month. Guys, just pat on the back. We took 93 listings last month. We get 35 so far this month. That's insane. Your focus is where it needs to be. And I can't say anything other than that. That's our message. This is about listings, 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 and new homes, new homes, new homes. We've been at 31 sales, which is crazy. 35 listings taken, only 31 sales. That's telling us something. The buyers are not as plentiful. I can't say that. There's still multiplier. Never mind. Bad thought. Look at the pendings. I don't know. Somebody's had to psychoanalyze me for this one because I don't get it. We have 299 contracts scheduled to close this month for $3.1 million. We've never had a $3 million month, and we won't this month either. 90 of these pendings, 90 of the 299 scheduled between our February closings. So February did not do as well as we thought it was going to do. They all got pushed. I think they got pushed. And I'm going to ask you very nicely, please, extend your closings or cancel them. So we know we got to put it back on the market. Something's not right there. We can't have that many contracts that are past closing, right? And when I counted the listings taken this month, the 35, I'm certain I saw some that I know are actually sold already, but you know, there's a lag time from getting them in. It's just the way the world works, and it's okay, and we accept it like it is. Closings for February, we did 165. Look at the difference, 299, 165. Guys, it's not slowing down. Take your Geritol or whatever it is. It gives you energy because you're going to need to keep working. Do we have a guest from Paramount Title, Sean or Misty? If you are, raise your hand so you come to the top of the list, please. PQRS.
Misty's here.
Misty's here. Let's put Misty on real quick. Which means I can stop.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I had a nice experience with you yesterday. Well, not with you, with India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I did the world's fastest real estate closing ever.
We're good at those. Tell us about it.
I wore my mask. They gave me my own pen. I had to take my pen with me. I signed about 82 pieces of paper, walked out the door in 5 minutes or less.
We love those kind of buyers. So good morning, everyone. I'm Misty Rosmondo from Paramount Title, and we have Tiffany Catini. She was here last week with me. She is our utility player. So again, she knows how to do a little bit of everything in title. I want you guys to have her cell phone number. Okay, so that way, if you can't get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Tiffany. So Tiffany's going to give that to you guys now.
Hey guys, I know I met some of you guys at the
Food truck rally on Friday. Passed out some cards, but if you don't, my number is 813-605-9004. And you guys use that for anything, really anything at all. You need a quote, you need someone to sponsor anything for you guys, just give me a call, reach out. I'm here to help you grow your business, grow ours, anything you guys need. Okay.
You got it. I'll tell you what, it's important because I have a call at least every 2 weeks with Sean and Amy and now Misty, just talk about the title company and the different experiences. And I complained the other day about how businesses now don't have phones anymore. But when we call Paramount Title, we get an answering machine a lot of the time. And it's not acceptable in today's world. So thank you for sharing your cell phone numbers with us. We'll still get your voicemails from time to time, I'm sure, but it does make a difference. I mean, I don't publish my office number anymore. It's just everything's cell phone based. That's just how it is. So you guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. It is. And I understand. And I think a lot of us do. I mean, I'm very old school, even though I'm considered a millennial, but I like to be able to call a place and get a person on the phone. So we understand the importance of that. So we hear you on that. And if you can't ever, get a hold of the office, call me, call Tiffany. We are here for you.
Yep.
And it looks like Craig put Tiffany's number in the chat.
I did.
Okay, perfect.
813-605-9004.
Yep, that's it. And if you guys, if you want to text, feel free. If I don't answer, I will call you back. So no worries about that. You're going to call back.
All right. Now I was going to talk to Indy yesterday and I said, I apologize, and I'll publicly apologize to you guys again. I am sorry that real estate agents put all their closings at the end of the month. I was the only closing yesterday.
We just want closing. So
I was the only closing you guys had yesterday. I asked for a 3:00 time. I rolled in at 3:00. I was out by 3:10. It was perfect.
Craig's telling a story. He rolled in at 4:45.
I did not.
Yep.
You guys, okay, good.
I hope you have a great week.
We make our weeks. So it'll be great. Awesome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Katie, we got you on the line too. I'm going to just jump ahead of my schedule to get you on there, but you are like one of our best friends right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not you personally.
Is it the commission, or is it that we can sell you inventory? Which was it?
It's both. It's your bubbly personality. It's the fact you have inventory and the fact that you respect us enough to pay us commission and you recognize how much harder we're working now. Not that it's easier. So
yeah.
Give us some. What is that picture behind you? Was that like a?
I let my fiance pick one piece of art for our entire new house that we had bought, and this is what he picked. So I don't know if it's a cow or if it's and I now have my little 6-month-old puppy trying to join in and hi to everybody, but I don't know. So it's in the kitchen, if that makes sense. I guess we can look at what we're eating. But Craig brought up a really great point. So really what I wanted to jump on here for you guys today is, the gist, what we're doing, but I wanted to do a better job of setting some expectations for you guys so you can help your buyers. When you come into our model, as you guys know, we are one of the very few builders that are not on a reserve list, that do have inventory, whether it just started or it's a stage, going through drywall. We're one of the very few, and it's caused us to freaking explode, which is great. And we appreciate all of you guys that are contributing to that. To give you an idea, in the month of January, we sold 690 homes. And in the month of February, we sold 496.
Holy cow.
Typically like high ones, low twos. So that's incredible. But with that, not that we're slowing down the process, but there are going to be some things that we're constantly changing and implicating. And what I've heard from my reps recently is that, a lot of realtors aren't aware. So they're just as frustrated when they hear these changes. So I kind of just want to go through those changes so that you can set the tone with your buyer when you come in. And not that you all do it, but I'm sure you can understand from a lot of other brokerages, we get a lot of pushback. So if I can better set those expectations for you now, it'll help you guide your buyer and explain the pushbacks now.
Are you going to talk about supply chain disruption by chance?
I'm not.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit too then.
Then I will stay on for that and take some notes. Just some quick things. So if your buyer comes in to purchase a home and we don't have one in inventory, we are now implementing, and probably many of you have seen, it's been a few months now, a to be built fee. So we're trying to direct the people to the homes that have started, and we have implicated this fee. So previously, if you've come in, it was if the home was not started at all, you were going to have to pay this fee. Now the fee is different in every single neighborhood. So one neighborhood, it might be 5,000, one neighborhood, it might be 10. If it's got multiple product lines in there, like Shell Cove right down the street from you guys, it's going to vary from product line. With that being said, we've now upped that to a stage 1. So we want to make sure that that home has at least started, because there are so many delays. We don't want to set the wrong expectations with the buyers. So if the home has hit a stage 1, which is the slab being poured, and not made it further past that, there will be a to be built fee on that home. Last week, we tried to implement that and put it pre-built into the MLS so that when you came in with your buyers, you saw on the MLS, it was, just being started. And then you come in and see our reps and we're like, oh, surprise, it's $15,000 more. We tried to add that into the MLS. Bear with us because these are constantly changing. So if we have 500 homes that click over from a stage 1 to a 2, there might be some errors. So just set that expectation with your buyers. If we don't have the inventory of it, there is going to be a to be built fee associated with it. Now you can wait, and you can wait for the home to hit a stage 2. The sales reps are able to give you that date and say, hey, it's going to hit a stage 2. There will be no to be built fee on, 3/15. Only thing there is we'll probably have a price increase. So outweigh whether the price increase is going to be less than the to be built fee, and it potentially could sell prior to that. We aren't taking holds or reservations. So first one to come in is really who gets that. For your VA and FHA buyers, as you guys are probably dealing with in the resale world, people are limiting, those types of loan programs on specific homes. We are now going to do the same. We're not saying that we can't have them, but they do need to stick to the lots that have lower premiums. So we're not going to accept a VA or an FHA on a $40,000 lot premium. And that's specifically, we don't want to put your buyers in that position. We don't want to put our buyers in that position that they've now held on to this home. They've gotten hopes. 4 months down the road, they go to close and it doesn't appraise. We are pricing to the market right now. We are not pricing to appraise. So we just don't want to do that. We don't want to hurt people. And then in 4 months, they're homeless. And that's the conversation our sales reps are having with buyers. We're not doing it in a harmful way. It's just redirecting them to a home site that, is 10,000 or, less than 20 ideally. So just have that in the back of your head. If they fall in love with this pie-shaped lot that's on a pond, it's probably going to be upwards of 40,000. And we're just not going to take VA or FHA on that, understandably.
Wow.
I know.
I don't blame you. No, I'm not complaining. I've never seen a market like this.
Right. It's crazy, right?
We're pricing for the market, not to appraise.
Yep.
That's incredible. 600 sales in 1 month.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy. So,
Okay,
go
you
ahead.
keep going. No, you got information. You keep going.
Just 3 more things. Like Craig mentioned, we are still paying 3%. I'm sure you've heard that there are many others that are not. Yeah, we are still paying 3%. We will never change that. We still offer our VIP program. We're not going to hinder you when the market is great and say, hey, we don't need you now, but in 6 months from now, we're going to need you. And then we'll ask you to come back and still pay you. So 3% across the board. VIP program still stands. The only thing different with VIP programs, if any of you sell under a team, so if you have a team leader, I don't know if you guys do that at Beggins. You don't? Perfect. Makes my life easy. 2 last things. I have personally 2 new neighborhoods coming to the market. If any of you are familiar with Silverstone, we were previously in Silverstone South. It is in Palmetto. We are now going to be in Silverstone North. So great location. We are going to have the Express 40s, 50s, and D.R. Horton 50s product line in there. So your Lantanas, your Corals, mixed in with your Alex's, Callie's, and all of that. It's a great neighborhood. We did very well in previously. So that one is going to be in Palmetto. And then right down the street from you guys, this one's a little bit further out, but I've already had realtors text me about it nonstop. Mangrove Estates is going to be on 41 in Apollo Beach. That's going to come at the end of fall-ish timeframe, but since people are already asking, I figured I'd bring it up. And last but not least, building timeframe when your buyers go under contract. I am coaching my reps as much as I possibly can to not give dates. You guys are experiencing delays on buyers that you have. We're experiencing it. We can't get drywall for the life of us on some homes, windows, all of that. You guys are experiencing it. So I'm not saying anything you don't know. If my reps in D.R. Horton in general, if you feel like they're not probably setting the right expectations, I heard someone yesterday gave a specific date. Pull your buyers aside, just let them know, hey, add 2 months to that more than likely. Like I said, we're doing our best to coach them on it, but some of them can't help but give you guys a date. And it's just, if the home hasn't hit drywall, no date is ideal at this point. And that's all I have. So do you guys have any questions for me?
What is your website that shows your active inventory?
drhorton.com/Tampa. I'll copy and paste it into this shortly for you guys. But if you want to be added to the hot sheet that emails out, I think it's weekly via marketing, I'll put Courtney's information in here. She's our new Amanda May. If you guys remember Amanda, she's the new marketing director. So you can get added to the hot sheet that comes out weekly. So I will copy and paste her email into here too.
Cool. Yeah, guys, this is crazy stuff. I mean, I'm talking to engineers and home builders and president of construction companies, and GE is over 1 million units behind on dishwashers. Samsung is over 2 million units behind. I mean, we've never seen. What happened was, and this is a story my engineer told me, in the last crash in 2007, they stopped planting trees. They anticipated a slowdown of raw materials. So they stopped planting trees. Okay, well, that takes some time to come over. And then when the pandemic started, everybody anticipated lack of demand. So they shut down all the plants. Well, you shut down a plant for 2 or 3 months and demand doesn't stop, you run behind. And this is a real serious problem. We're not getting windows. We're not getting drywall. We're not getting plywood. A 2x4 by 8 piece of wood used to be $2. Now they're $6.75. And what are trusses made out of? 2x4s, right? So a truss set for a Mirabay house we were building was $13,000. That same truss set is $32,000 now. So I had lunch with Sunrise Homes president Ali Hasbini last week. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm not selling any houses." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, I don't know what the price is going to be because I don't know, right? So D.R. Horton put in the price premium and it isn't being mean. It's saying we recognize we're a solution to the housing problem. We need to keep building, but we don't know what it's going to cost. Now, D.R. Horton, with their power and their size, they do get preferred pricing on a lot of supplies. So they're going to be a little bit better off than most. But my advice to you is 2 parts. Number 1, get listings. I'm not going to stop saying that ever. Number 2, become really familiar with your new home inventory, because that's what's going to lead us out of the problem is the new home builders. And the third thing that my advice is going to be is you're going to have to reach outside of your normal comfort zone. So down in Palmetto, houses are going to be more affordable. Out in Lakeland, houses are going to be more affordable. So even in St. Pete, if you got to go over the Skyway Bridge to get to Palmetto to find affordable housing, you might have to do that because there's nothing under $300,000 out here. It's crazy. Lauren, the phone number's up in the chat. Just roll up a little bit. You'll see it in there. It went to all attendees. I'm looking at it. Tiffany, 813-605-9004. And Katie will put in the other stuff she said she's going to put in. But Katie, when you do that, just make sure, I'm sure you're a good Zoomer. Make sure you hit all panelists and attendees so everybody sees it.
I got you. I'm sending it over now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys, and continue to be the rock stars you are. We appreciate all the business you guys do with us.
Thank you. All right. Director sharing my screen for a moment. I'm going to highlight Laura Wolf for a moment, because this is just right in line with D.R. Horton, of course. Not sure if D.R. Horton shared this with you, but they gave me a beautiful gift basket with goodies and this very pretty engraved plaque. There's Laura with a plaque. So when you sell 4 houses, I think you become a VIP realtor. And then that guarantees you for a higher commission for the rest of the year. So what did she say?
5, don't sell her short. She's sitting in the room and she's very upset that you said 4, not 5.
Oh, it says it right here, 5. I sold 5 of their homes. Guys, this is the second week in March. So it's only what, 4, 8, 10 weeks of the year. And she sold 5 D.R. Horton homes this year. No wonder that she got a gift basket and a plaque. Very cool. Regina was asking Katie before you sign off, pricing in Silverstone North available yet? And when will pre-sales begin in Silverstone North? And the price point?
So we do have an idea of price point. I'm not going to give it out yet. So we are changing our strategy a little bit when it comes to releasing new models. We used to pre-sell. We're not pre-selling, obviously, with what's going on in the world. We are waiting until our models are absolutely done, perfect, and our sales reps are in there before we start selling. Our models are well underway. We're probably looking at about 30 days till we start selling in there. It can change, but I'll give you an idea. And Alex is going to be about 262. Could go up from there now that pricing has changed with lumber and drywall and all of that. But that was the initial base that they rolled out. So give or take a little bit there. But you're looking at about 30 days. I'll make sure that marketing sends out an e-blast as soon as it's open and released for sales.
Cool. Lots of chat saying congrats to Laura, but then Regina had to pipe in. I've got 8 under my belt so far. Just to put it out there, you know how I am. Okay. Chris Reed, thank you for sending me my quotes. It wouldn't be the same without them. In the month of February, Mike Ferry asks us, coaching clients take a minimum of 4 listings. Since we're dealing with a continuous inventory shortage, maybe we should all consider working a little more to take listings. These thoughts should help us get better. Number 1, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Ooh, what a great point. When you're coming into the end of the 3rd month of the 1st quarter, you can't change the beginning, but you can change the ending, right? There's no time to give up right now. This is it. Beyonce researched for over 8 months for a 2-hour performance. Think about that the next time you want something in your business to work right away. Maybe practicing your listing presentation. Number 3, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. You know, we can't look backwards and say, oh God, prices are high and there's no inventory and things suck. You got to deal with it. Prices are high and there's no inventory, right? And there's a lot of really new things come out, which I'll focus on in a minute. Number 4, excuses don't bring results. I don't want to hear about it. One way to make the most out of life is to look on it as an adventure. It's really what it is, right? We're just here to experience different things. And how boring would it be if we didn't have things changing all the time around us? So let's make the month of March a great, productive adventure. Right, I talked about this. Let's jump into, well, I'm going to break this up a little bit. I'm going to jump into my inbox because I got a couple things in there I want to share. Now, all these red and greens here. Let's move this out of the way. Let's see. Start back here. Let's welcome some new people. So Kevin Davis, this is just unusual. We're going to start something new. You're going to get an invitation from Susie. If you joined us in November or December, I want to have a one-on-one Zoom meeting with you, just so I can see your face and not have to look at a blank audience. And then we're going to do another one for the January hires, some of the February hires, and just so we can see each other. Because it's weird when I walk into an office and people go, hey, Craig. And I'm like, who are you? So I don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to get to see each other's face to face. So that's Kevin Davis. Welcome to the Brandon team. Felix, welcome to the Brandon team as well. So that's coming in. Another blue one. This is Stephen Harris. Welcome to South Tampa team. So we've been hiring like crazy lately. Sarasota team, welcome to Janie. Look forward to meeting you. And I think there's one more. Nope. All right, so back here. Home warranties. Wow. Okay, real life scenario. Dwayne sent me the home warranty results for the previous month, and they were horrible. I think we sold 10 home warranties. And I made an excuse. We just talked about excuses a minute ago, right? And I said, with almost no houses available, the agents are afraid to ask the seller to provide a warranty. And with the buyers paying over asking, many just don't have the funds to pay extra. I'm afraid it is what it is for now. That was my excuse to Dwayne. And Dwayne wrote me back and said, Yes, that scenario exists nationally. Agents are having success presenting the warranty to the buyers as a buyer expense. Buyers are paying more. As a result, they have less cash available to assist in repairs. The new construction plan is a must. Paid at closing. Start date for the coverage on the 1-year anniversary of the closing. The day the developer coverage ends, ours begins, and the coverage lasts for 3 years. For platinum coverage at a total cost of $690 on a new home build. That's a pretty damn good deal. So the reality is, I told you I bought a house. I just refinanced it yesterday, right? Guess what happened to me last week? My tenant calls and says, "Hey, Dad, I don't have any hot water." So what do? Mr. Landlord, I call a plumber. Plumber comes out and gives me 3 options. I can replace this part, but it's probably not going to fix it. That'll be $300. I can rebuild the guts, and that'll be $650, but chances are there's a short in the bottom because somebody probably hasn't drained the water heater. Or number 3, I can just put a whole new system in for $1,800. Right? Guess what I didn't do? Buy a home warranty. So if I'd bought a home warranty, I would have spent $690 and I would have had a brand new water heater as opposed to spending $1,800 on a water heater that's brand new now. So, duh, just saying. Third party stories. I just want to remind you guys, there's something called the PR Studio. And a lot of our new agents take advantage of the stuff that we have because they're familiar with it. And a lot of us that have been around for a while forget about things. So Rachel, who's really a great new agent, she's really fit in. She's doing really nice things business-wise, but she's also taking advantage. So she got her military service provider award level designation. And then she went to PR Studio and she did a press release. And the Osprey Observer picked it up and ran a press release on her. And I know that because I've got Google Alert set up that every time Century Home Bagans is in the news, I get notified. So it's just kind of a reminder. When you do something, do a press release on it. And if you don't know how, ask your OTL and we'll show you because it's really simple in 21 Online. That was kind of fun. This one, I don't want to put the name up there, but it's too late, I already did. This is a post that I got notified on nextdoor.com. And I want you guys to tell me what's wrong with it. I'll be taking a couple of new listings in the next week, a 2.5 townhome in Kings Lake in the 140s and a mid-month, a 4.2 pool home in Covington that will be in the low 300s. They just don't last long these days. So if anyone wants to jump on either of these, give me a call at my phone number. Deborah, what's wrong with that?
I think MLS has a lot to say about finding somebody that's doing this because those are, you can't do that. You can't advertise your listings until 24 hours before they go live.
Right.
Period.
So there's no public marketing of a listing until it's within 24 hours of the MLS.
Yeah.
And the purpose of that is not to be mean. It's because I made an example of Rachel. Rachel has a buyer that wants a townhome in Kings Lake. And if this agent doesn't return Rachel's call, Rachel's buyer might just jump right over Rachel and go straight to this person to get that house because the inventory is so tight. And it's just not fair. So NAR created a policy called the Clear Cooperation Policy. And that post is a direct violation of it.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want you to be aware because it's publicly audited. So if an agent reports that, it's an automatic $500 fine for your first time. And then it goes to $1,500, then it goes to $2,500. Automatic hit you. There you go.
Yeah.
Katie just talked about this. Was Kalani sharing that there's interesting pricing changes? Was all good about that? Oh, this is the earnest money delivery. I've talked about that. It's just really cool because it's a pain in the butt to get a check out and write a check and drive a car to a place and drop off an earnest money check. Under the, what's it called? ParamountTitleFL.com is the website. It says EMT delivery. You click on it, you put in your routing number and your checking account number, and it transfers money straight there and you're done. And it costs $9. Pretty cool stuff. All right, I'm gonna stop here for this now. And let's go hear from our peeps. Let's hear from Chris Reed, who's up in my upper left-hand corner.
What do you want to hear from me? We didn't have a specific topic that you wanted to cover, so I just wanted to give some shout outs to all the people in the office and some of the awards that they've gotten. So for the month of January, we talked about some of the tops. So just wanted to make sure that we're recognizing them as well. Amber had most gross closed commissions. Carlene Lester had most closed sides. Kim Hodgkins had most listings. Aixa had most open sides. So, you see a lot of these same names for new listings on the hot sheet, a lot of the same names for new contracts on the hot sheet. And these people are doing something. They're doing something different. They committed to making a decision to go out and do something different than what they've done. They're not going to complain about the inventory. They're not complaining about their buyers not getting the home they wanted. They're not complaining about not having enough listings or somebody raising the price or not getting in there. They're just going in and getting it done. So sometimes we have to shift our focus. If whatever you focus on is what you're going to feel, whatever you focus on is what you're going to get back. If you focus on all of the crap that's going on out there and all of the struggles that you're having and all of the problems that you're facing, that's what you're going to see more of. The next listing you find is going to have a pain in the ass agent on the other side who's not going to let you show it. The next buyer that you have is going to want to be from here all the way up to all the way down to Northport, all the way up to Newport Richie. Whatever you focus on, you're going to create, you're going to invite more of that. So let's start looking and finding the positive. Let's start looking and finding what you can do rather than about what's there and how bad it is. So what can I do about it? If it's not something you can control and it's something that's outside of your control, push it to the side. Don't let it influence you. So focus on and say, what can I control about this situation? I can't control the other agents being a pain. I can't control the seller is going to be difficult and won't lower their price or wants top dollar or 20,000 more than what it's listed for. I can't control those things. What can I control? I'm going to control my buyer. I'm going to make sure that they understand what the market is, where the value is. I'm going to control these scenarios. I can control my sellers by putting the price, properly positioning the home before it goes on the market, having it marketed well for the first couple days, getting showings all over the weekend, getting the most amount of money. So focus on the things you can control and ask yourself that if it's bothering you, if it's screwing you up a little bit, ask yourself, can I control this? And if you can't, ask yourself, well, what can I control about this scenario, and figure out what that is. Put yourself in a better position.
What do I say, Chris, all the time? It's not what happens to you in life. It's how you react to what happens to you in life.
Yeah, it was a Jack Canfield, the guy who wrote the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, has a simple formula: E plus R equals O. The events that happen to you plus your reaction to them is going to equal your outcome. So it's not about what happens to you; it's how are you going to react to it.
There you go. Kathleen, what say ye?
Good morning, everybody. I will start out by saying we love home warranties. I had a issue come up last year, and I always get home warranties, even on the new construction. It really pays off. And I'm going to zoom in on this for 1 second. I had an issue come up. We were getting ready to get on a flight to go to Cape Cod. The night before, the AC goes out. Oh no. What do? Sit there and sweat or make a phone call? Well, I had the home warranty, called the company, and the guy came out and he goes, oh yeah, I recognize your name from Century 21 Baggins. My wife's an agent too. I wanted to get out here right away. There's a whole lot of these techs that are married to real estate agents, and they will jump through hoops of fire to get your property up and running. It saved me $500. It was a stupid little switch on the bottom of a pan for the AC. That would have cost me $500. It was a $75 service fee, and my husband had to eat crow. He's like, okay, you're right. These home warranties save money. I'm like, bleh, because he's, he don't want to spend the money. Yours truly, I spend the money. So there you have it. Shout outs. I'm going
to blame my real estate agent for not reminding me to do it.
That's right. That would be you. Shout outs. Man, I've got some rock stars over here. I'm really proud of this group. Shout outs to Neil, Shelly, Jesse, Martin, Dahlia, Karina, Jack. Let me see who else. Lorene, Lindsay, Chad Ramsey, Chad Ellis, Dawn, Jack. Rock stars. They are killing it. They're all going out there, and you know what they're doing? They're thinking outside the box. They're knocking on doors. They're calling expireds. They're calling FSBOs. They're talking to 10 to 15 people a day. They are going onto the listed, not relisted website that we went over, that Deb and I did the training on, and it's really effective. They're thinking outside the box by talking to their neighbors. They do flyers of the most recent market DNA, I like to call it, otherwise known as relevant information. They call their sphere of influence. They talk to people. They get out into the neighborhood with their community flyers, and we have sort of a wizard thing over here that's a little bit different, but they use that. They talk to people in their organizations, church, school, PTA, basketball. Some of them even sponsor a contest, a business drawing. That's real big over here. If you can get in with a group, let's say, and do a business drawing, get a table, and have other businesses put their business cards into a ball of a name drawing, if you will, and they win a contest, it gets their name out there. They do that on St. Armand's all the time. They do it around downtown here as well. The words of the day. I'd like to leave this with this thought. You're highly talented, wonderful, hardworking individuals. By making the true market known to your neighborhood, your places of business, past and present clients, you will excel, and you're doing your clients and you're doing your neighborhood a great service. Thank you for all your hard work.
I agree with that sentiment for sure. Deborah?
Good morning, superstars. So very quickly, I'm going to run through 14 agents that are getting 23 listings or have gotten 23 listings this week. This is amazing. And on top of it,
That's
Nick,
like half
thank
of
you
the
for
whole
bringing
town's
in
inventory.
listings. Sandy, 2 listings. Phil, those are 2. You got 2 listings going live next week. Robin, 2 listings coming in. Jennifer, 2 listings coming in. Lee, you've got a listing coming in. May, you've just got 2 listings that went live. Angela, you've got a listing that just got signed. Devonna, you've got 2 listings you're working on to go live. Raquel, you've got a listing that just went live. Rick, you just got a listing that went live and got under contract in the same day. Tom Heckman, you just got a listing going live this week. Wesley, you just got a listing that went live yesterday. Celeste, you've got a listing going live. They're focusing on listings, Craig. Good
That's
job.
fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Great job. This
Do you
is
see any
just
common theme? What's working specifically for them?
reaching out to past clients with my experienced agents, door knocking with my new agents. I have got people farming all over the place, making calls, going through expires and canceled, not relisted. They're doing everything they possibly can. Angela, God bless you, met a guy at a car wash. Great job. But you know, they're just you guys are working your hearts out. You're doing an awesome job. Keep it up. Listings is the name of our game right now.
Now, remember too, not to take anything away from anybody doing that, but there's a strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just putting a house on the market anymore, right? Because we are breaking, look at D.R. Horton breaking the rules. They're just we're pricing for the market, not for appraisals now. I like that quote. We're pricing for the market, not for appraisals.
Yeah.
When you get a new listing, if it is spit polished and shined, it's gonna sell for more. So you as a listing agent need to say, hey, we have an option here. Let's take a week or two, get the listing signed, number one, get the MLS waiver signed for a couple of weeks, get the AC inspected, get the seawall inspected, get the dock inspected, make sure the roof's out, get a 4-point inspection, make it spit, polish, and shine and marketed. And you watch. Then you're going to put it on the market, withhold showings for a couple of days, let the tension build, then do a public open house and let people line up on the street to see this perfect house, and you watch what happens. And then you negotiate without appraisal contingencies and play the game.
Yep.
Or you do it the old-fashioned way and don't do as well.
That's
I mean,
right.
there's a strategy. Look at D.R. Horton. They're not open. They're not releasing the pricing on their communities until they're open and their models are furnished. It's a new game. It's 2021. It's just different now.
Yeah,
Joe
agents,
Diener.
get with your managers and strategize. That's how I know about all these. Everybody's been getting with me to strategize.
Exactly.
And it's important. You need to sound off with your managers, other agents, you know, get a strategy going. Absolutely.
Joe Diener.
Good morning. Well, I pulled reports the other day. I sent them off to the managers. I'm telling you, these reports don't say anything that we don't already know.
I saved it for you. It's right here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you're great. Do you want me to stop and I'll talk about something else if you're going to go over it?
No, I'll let you go over it.
Oh, okay, super. All right. So the most interesting thing right now is sellers in the marketplace are asking 14% more. Oh, there you go. You got it printed on for me. So sales price. Wow, we're over $300,000 in median sales price in Hillsborough County. It's been under 300,000 since I've been here, and that's 17 years. So we've jumped from $5,000 in 1 month, which is a heck of a jump when you're thinking about, it's averaging all properties being sold. This number, the median sell price is really, really telling. Sellers are asking 14% increase over last year's, but buyers are giving them 18% over last year. All right. The number of homes sold closed is 4% higher than a year ago.
Hey, we had Jody Myers jump into our manager meeting yesterday, and she texted me in the morning to congratulate us because we are up 35% as a company year over year, same period last year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty telling. If the market's up 4% over a year ago, we're up 35% over a year ago. She said we're number 10 in the US right now.
Woohoo! There must be a party set for that. Under contract properties are up 2% from last year. That's things that have gone pended. The number of new properties added in February is down 500 homes, or 24% in the county.
That's why pendings are down.
That's why pendings are down. Total for sale of properties February to February are down 49%, or 3,100 homes. The average day on the markets from last February, God, what a difference a year makes. Last February was 50 days on the market. It's now 24. So it's down 49%. Month supply is held steady from January to February. It's 0.7 months. It's just incredible. And speaking what Deb said, success right now with listings, month of March, take me out to the ballpark. That touch point is going to be some baseball magnets in the mail, and a little flyer in that thing telling them, hey, I want to sell your house. So I got a new tent you can pitch up somewhere, but I want to sell your house. The reason why I bring up these numbers is because whenever we have a huge fluctuation in market, there's denial. We have seller denial, we have buyer denial, depending on where the market goes. And right now, when you're talking to a buyer who bought 5 years ago and they want to buy now, they don't understand why the house they looked at yesterday is no longer there, because 5 years ago, they had a couple weeks to look at it. So that's what these numbers are telling. That's, make sure you have them, show them. I sent them all out to the managers so they can distribute them. It's really important to set that expectation for both buyer and seller. So that's all I had this morning, Craig.
Agreed. Mr. Puma, we're making some tactical changes. We had a meeting last week and I was talking to Mike. I said, why are we still advertising for buyers? We don't want buyers. Let's shift all resources to sellers. So we're in the process of doing some of that. So I think that's going to come along.
Yep, we're going to be doing that. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm trying a new microphone. Okay. So we are going to be making some changes from the lead perspective, but we have a lot of coming in, which is good, buyer and seller. We are having pretty good success so far of driving leads with the new Home Partners program. I think we're exceeding all of their numbers that they were doing as on the corporate side at the brokerage level. So we're going to be sharing those results with them. And we've got quite a few that are going through the qualification process with Home Partners. And once they are approved, we will hand them out. The nice thing for the agents that are on that team, and right now we are capped at the number of agents we can have. We'll add more hopefully soon. But they're only getting that lead when the person is approved, ready to go. So we're not wasting anyone's time. This is going to be a really unique
Cash buyer
program. So, and they're cash buyer, right? So that's really positive. I also want to give a huge shout out to Jared Dunn on the BE3 team. If any of you want to take a look at a real life example of an agent who's just committed to a niche and is gone all in on branding himself, shooting his own content, putting himself out there, building his own website, just everything from a branding perspective that I've gone on for the last 3.5 years. He's actually just 100% executing on. The results are speaking for themselves. He once again is top agent for B3 and most closed deals, as well as GCC brought in. So go check out Jared. I highly encourage you to follow him. He's pushing out multiple pieces of content every day, everything from just testimonials to tactical videos. So go follow him. He's doing an amazing job. There's quite a few agents that are, but he's just one that I've seen a lot of lately. That's really good stuff. So if you're looking for ideas, trying to figure out the way to do it, and you're tired of listening to me, go watch what he's doing. And I think he'll give you quite a few ideas.
Got it. Mr. Bass?
Man, that's a hard panel to follow. Every single one of them brought so much to the table. Two things that I'll be really quick on. One is I've experienced something new for the first time over the weekend. Taylor Morrison is got a Stansel Park up in Starkey Ranch area. It's just incredible, the amount of demand. So what they decided to do over the weekend was they released 10 lots and they put a minimum bid price on each lot. And then they had 10 talking points about your offer and what you're going to do. Do you have to sell to buy? Can you finance? Are you cash? Things of that nature. And then the key to this is, what was your minimum bid for those lots? And so you already had to have your house picked out. You already had to have an idea of how much your minimum upgrade spend would be. And all that was going to go into consideration for those lots. And so, and I know that with a couple of the lots, they were starting like at 39,000 and they were getting bids coming in at 55, 56. And so piggybacking on what D.R. Horton said earlier, they're selling to what people are willing to buy it for. And what's pretty cool about that, I mean, not really cool, but what they're doing is something Fannie Mae did 7 years ago. They had this shadow inventory. So they'd trickle a couple of homes out without an appraisal required. I don't know if anyone remembers that. But then they would sell it without the appraisal, push the market up, then trickle out a few more homes and push the market up with those. So they kept step laddering the market up. And so what's happening now with some of the builders, because of the demand and also the lack of knowledge on where the cost of lumber is going to be in the next few years, in the next few months, they're taking in the bids. They're selling 10 lots, pushing the price of all that up. And then they're going to trickle out another 10. They're going to do a highest and best. And there's not going to be an appraisal that's going to save you. Either you buy it or you don't. And so that's something that's happening out there that I experienced for the first time. Who knows how long that will happen, but it's happening. So, just be cognizant of it out there and let your buyer.
Dates of 2005.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeff,
And then
what about
here's
that?
here's
Didn't
another
Taylor
thing.
Morrison do that in Indian Rocks Beach?
They did. I do not know the outcome of that yet. Kathy was going to check on that for me yesterday. I did not see what happened, but they did a highest and the best on their first phase of townhomes. So I'll get the reports. I'll let you guys
So
know.
they opened the first phase of townhomes. They're finished. They didn't put a price on them and said, you guys come look, give us the highest and best. And that's
Yeah.
what they're going to get.
That's right.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're creating not only such a good demand, but they're getting the frenzy going where everyone's like, oh, the auction frenzy that people get caught up in. And so they're pushing the heck out of the lots. Second thing, I'll be really brief. It's a lot of fun watching the paradigm shift with this company, and our agents are shifting their focus on from buyers to listings. And we're starting to gobble up market shares by doing so. And it's fun to watch that. Even our new agents are coming in and they're coachable, and they're doing, something as simple as doing CMAs for every homeowner they know. If they can just do 4 a week, they're getting listing opportunities. And so they're brand new, but with the support of the brokerage and so forth behind them, they're getting merit behind their values that they're getting. And so now they're beginning to win those opportunities at those listings. So it's fun to watch that. Those are my two things today. I hope everyone has an awesome day.
Awesome. Senor Beggins?
All right. So a couple things. I love what you talked about with the listing strategy, because those who are crushing it are really doing a good job, knowing that, and if you're even thinking about putting anything on the market without a certified pre-love time period, you're crazy, because you can double side pretty much every listing you have if you do it right. And, you know, I talk about the Bob Dean most recent story, and I know a lot of you guys are doing the same thing, but take advantage of that 24-hour golden time. That's your workaround on the clear cooperation policy. You have 24 hours to promote before it goes live. If you really think about it and start getting an invitation or something out to that neighborhood for that 24 hours prior to the hitting the MLS, you're going to look like a passionate, aggressive agent, and you're going to make more than likely get a double side and generate some income on there. So I love that on that. So quick shout outs to, I know Mike started with Jared done awesome. Also from B3 Group, guys, we have an amazing team out in Orlando, Lakeland, and spreading out towards the East Coast already. Jared, Marquita, Jamie got some listings and sales. Serena, Cheryl, Taylor, and Catherine Pyle had a great closing as well. Over here on the beaches, Christy nailed out a good contract. Danny, Mandy, Jamie Wright had 2. Maria, Mike Reichenbach, Randy. Closings, Christy Murphy had 1. Ed Schwinn, Blake, Gore, Jamie, Cheryl. Maria had 2 new listings. Mandy had a great listing. And it's just it's awesome. So and these listings are going under contract. So I can't be any more proud of all of you, everyone in the company, and really any spare second you have right now, get inventory, because this is not the most exciting thing to say, but what if you knew this party was about to end, right? You know, rates 2.5 FHA, they're 3% conventional. What happens when they become 4% conventional at 3.5% FHA? It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't help, right? So that's just going to naturally start slowing the market as things start to go up and down. So if you knew this was the best quarter that you could ever possibly have coming up, what changes would you make? What would you do knowing that every listing you have is going to have multiple offers and going to be money in the bank? How would you change your thinking? How would you change your day? How would you change your week, knowing that everything you touch will turn completely to gold over the next 90 days? And what if after that you knew that the party was over? Because I'm telling you that this pace of this party will be over. So I think we really need to go focus all in as a team and go get every piece of inventory we can over the next 90 days. And, you know, things are going to slow down. They can't keep up at this fevered pace. So let's just take advantage of it while we have it. That's what I wanted to remind everybody of.
Yep, I agree. Okay, I'm going to hit my inbox for a couple more things I want to share with you guys. Shut this one down. Okay, where are we? Okay, Dina, we did. I'll get to birthdays in a second. This is just, I don't want to sound disappointed because I get it, but these are just trends that I'm seeing that are not good. All right. And I get it. It's called lead fatigue is what we're dealing with right now. We've got more leads than we've ever had before. We don't really want the leads because there's no inventory for them to buy. So it's just, it's a challenge. And this is showing me, this is century21.com leads that our listing agents didn't answer, went to Ojo. 23 of them went. 3 of them got referred back to us. 8 of them said, don't even want it. And right now, 90% of our referrals are out of compliance. That means you've got to talk to them every 2 weeks and make an update to the system. Guys, there's a problem with that. And this is Alice Perillo, former president of Realogy. If you ignore your customers during the dreaming phase, they're going to ignore you during their buying phase. All right. I get it. I get it. I get it. Buyers suck. There's too many of them. There's not enough houses. They're a pain in the ass. Put them in Zap, put them on a campaign, and at least keep them there and show them some love over the next year. Because if you ignore them during the dreaming phase, they're going to ignore you during the buying phase. 90% of referrals out of compliance is not acceptable. It's just not as a professional organization. Ashley is not on because her internet's down, just like a lot of people with Time Warner, but whatever it's called. US Bank is in a new relationship with Cardis, or the Realogy Advantage Broker Network. So they're going to bring the power of our Realogy programs to US Bank mortgage customers. So think of that. So here's Realogy owning Cardis going out to US Bank saying, hey, you guys are a bank, you're doing mortgages. Do sometimes people go to a mortgage company to get qualified before they go to a real estate agent? Yes. So now they're going to be referring them back to our Cardis team. So that's a pretty cool relationship coming up. Welcome, Janie. I did that one already. Oh, this is just a nice story. Amanda reached out. There's Amanda from D.R. Horton again. I want to reach out to let you know how amazing Regina Mann is. Now, Regina's one who's got 8 D.R. Hortons under. She has a buyer under contract at South Shore Bay who was going to have to cancel due to non-qualification. She has gone above and beyond to work with the buyer and his ex to discontinue his child support obligation for a few months early so he could qualify for his house. That's creativity. In order to do this in enough time to close this month, which was required by D.R. Horton, the buyer had to withdraw from his 401k and pay for expedited court documents. Regina literally sat by his side many times to help him through every single step to make sure he got it done in a timely manner. On top of that, she's been communicating with our mortgage team to make sure they knew the status of the situation and what needs to happen next before we finally could qualify. The buyer got his court document and we received loan commitment and he's scheduled to close on the 26th. So Regina dug into the weeds and got the guy's ex-wife to not accept child support for a couple of months and stop funding his 401k to get his income high enough to qualify for the house he wants. That's crazy. I just wanted to share that. And once again, so markets change and things change. So this is Open Door, who, you know, I'm not a fan of, although, you know, it is what it is. With low inventory across the country, the need for seller solutions is becoming increasingly evident, including non-contingent cash offers. Open Door recently announced that they are now offering a buy before you sell bridge cash offer program in addition to their current iBuyer instant offers. This program is currently available in Florida. So that's more to read about. I haven't read more about it yet, but I see it coming. So there's Open Door, these hedge funds with all this cash saying, hey, we'll guarantee your sale, go buy, and then we'll buy your house from you. So it's just another thing happening in the marketplace. And then don't give up. And yeah, because here's another one. Divvy Homes came out a couple years ago. Divvy started in 2017. We've worked with real estate agents to help them over 1,400 families, which is the goal. We want to work with you to help at 5,000 this year. I would like to set up a meeting to train your agents on our program and help them expand their business. Below is a link to our website and a YouTube video. So I'll be reaching out to Divvy Homes. That same concept. They'll buy your house for cash, and then you can sell your house later on your own dime. So that's coming up the pike. And once again, I mean, I don't really think most people need to know what's going on in Trinity, but when you're out of houses, you need to know where houses are. So D.R. Horton's got an upcoming event in Trinity Woods in Newport Richey. And I know some of you work in Newport Richey. This is kind of cool. Mike Meadler, president of Century 21, Craig, 2021 is going to be a year to remember the 50th anniversary of Century 21 brand. That's 5 decades of being innovators, industry thought leaders, and franchise originators, known for its commitment to your growth. We're all set to commemorate this remarkable milestone in a number of ways. And I feel bad about this, but they're having something this month called Celebrate 50 years. And it's like, because we can't get together for a national convention, they got all these things like every day at 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, there's a special training class with high-end speakers and all kinds of stuff that none of us have really paid attention on. And I can't find the easy way to figure it out. But what was this one? So he's congratulating us on our award-winning performance with the Realty Advantage Network, because we got platinum level again, which is huge. And the number of firms that actually get that it's smaller and smaller every year. So they want me to make sure we're coming to that event on the 23rd and 24th. And they're actually inviting all the agents on the Curtis team to that event as well. So that'd be more to come. I'll get Ashley to talk about that. Home Partners. This is cool. They're raising their home price in Tampa to $450,000. So that just hit. That's all it says is Tampa. I don't know about the other markets, but we're up to 450 grand in Tampa now. So that's new. We did that. Cool. Wow. We're going to be at one Q&A here. Cut a deal to pay her off early from his 401k rather than wait for a March, April, May child support payment. So he still took care of his important child support obligation. Good for you, Regina. So he sold some of his 401k to pay his ex-wife early. That's pretty sharp. Couple chats real quick. Yeah, I don't know the price points or any of that. Doesn't really say. Nobody's talking about prices anymore because they don't know what they're going to be from today or tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll be able to send more info out. Cool. Anybody else? Words for the wise? D.R. Horton's website is up there. Katie's number is in there. Yep, you can't do it to all panels. You got to do panels and attendees. And there's Courtney for the weekly hot sheet if you want D.R. Horton's inventory. Okay. Very good. All right, everybody, that's all I got for today. And it's 9:33. Happy Tuesday.
Have a good day.